energies surrounding the October 30th new moon, which is coming just right before Halloween. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for watching this video, and so let's get on with the reading. The first card for the Divine Feminine is the Ace of Swords, and this represents a message of truth. Finally, the Divine Feminine, they can see past that veil, that they're more than what they appear to be. And finally, the Divine Feminine feels comfortable in her skin. It's a new empowering energy, because with the recent downloads the past week, the Divine Feminine has been more activated, I should say. They're coming into their gifts, they're starting to use them, and they're being made aware, if they haven't been, that these things that they are looking at whenever they're thinking about the Divine Masculine, there's something else going on other than what their eyes can see and what they can perceive. So this sort of truth, finally, that there is more to the eye than what they can perceive. There's more than meets the eye. So I think I got that jumbled wrong. Well, the Divine Feminine is aware of this right now. She's being given messages by Spirit about this and continually trying to upgrade her, because right now she's very confident and ready to go into union and into mission. And here we have the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups often represents someone from the past that brings a lot of happiness. For me, this also tells me that the Divine Feminine is aware that they were together all this time, her and the Divine Feminine, throughout many lifetimes, whether they've both been incarnated at the same time or not. But there has always been that connection, that bond. And it's a bond that's very pure, because in this deck, the Six of Cups represented both are children. So right now, the Divine Feminine is tapping into her past. She's going back. For the longest time, the Divine Feminine have been looking, the collective at least, have been looking forward. When is union? What's going to happen? I know he's my twin flame. When is he going to show up? When is he going to get in touch with me again? But because the Divine Feminine has been enlightened on a lot of things concerning 5D, 3D, the nature of their union, she's going back. And when I say back, I mean not just last month or last year, but she's going way, way back. She's very intent on healing. I say she, but I mean the Divine Feminine. She's very intent on healing childhood traumas, childhood wounds, and that inner child within her. And she's realizing that it goes way back, these wounds, not just this lifetime, but other previous lifetimes. And that these wounds are still there, and that's why she's accessing that part of her from the past to help her, whatever her situation is right now. And we have the next card, which is the Four of Pentacles. With being empowered by the masculine energies. When was that? I think it was last August or September, wherein the divine feminine were jolted into their sort of sedentary existence, and spirit called them that, hey, you have to do the work. If you have to go into mission, then go into mission. So right now, the divine feminine is looking ahead and making stable plans for the future, with or without her twin. If her twin hasn't appeared yet, regardless, she's making plans to make sure that her financial future, at least, is stable. Whether you're starting a business, you're getting into a new career, you want some stability, and that's what you're looking at. This is very grounding energy, which is also telling me that all those high frequency downloads that we've been getting, it is a reminder that we have to ground them into the earth. So, divine feminine, if you've been receiving downloads, especially if you're a Blu-ray twin, but of course other twins, they get their own downloads as well, it's very important to ground this into Gaia so that we can do that part of our mission wherein we activate the grid of the planet and make it stronger so that we can spread unconditional love and help the earth ascend, well, the people on earth ascend. And this will be very beneficial for the transformation of the planet. And since we're going into past lives and all that, journeying way beyond just this timeline, the more it gets important to ground, because we have to stay here in the present moment. And this is a reminder to females. As I said in my masculine video, we carry the high frequency energies. The masculine is more of an expert in grounding, and we meet at the heart chakra. And so if that hasn't happened yet in 3D, then those actions of being stable, of stabilizing yourself, your situation, your finances, and even the act of grounding the energies, all that will help. Okay, and it seems that with the Ten of Wands, I'm getting that the divine feminine is very close to goal. She has all this passion inside her because she's aware, and right now she's intent on doing the work. And sometimes doing the work, being, females, most of the time they do get overwhelmed because they're not really just doing one thing. The entire day they're doing lots of things. We're experts at multitasking. But still, the Divine Feminine, we're carrying all those wands. We're like super women. But I think being a Divine Feminine would be way above a female superhero. Okay, because we're carrying that not only in the 3D, we're trying to accelerate our own healing, discover where blocks are so that we can forge ahead into union. We're also going into mission, and all this on top of your real life activities, your third dimension activities. If you have a day job, you're still doing that on top of all these self improvement things that you're doing. You're also meditating. So, this is a card of overwhelm. You're doing a lot, a whole lot, and you have to pat yourselves on the back for that and not be too hard on yourself. But Spirit is also telling me that because you've been doing all these things that you are close to goal. So don't stop. This is like, I don't know if all of you cook, but when you're preparing, let's say, a feast, you have several dishes going on at the same time. You're waiting for the cake to bake while your soup or your stew is still simmering, and you're frying something else or you're preparing the salad. All this, they're going on. But when the meal is prepared, when it's time to eat, everything gets on the table because you've done the work. It's not one at a time you focus on this because that would take forever. There are some things that you have to do all at the same time. And it is a it is a feminine quality that we are multitaskers naturally. It comes with the territory of being motherly, taking care of all things at the same time. But don't fret and don't get overwhelmed. If you do get overwhelmed, just pause and take 3 deep breaths. And it's like an instant reset button. Most of the time, the stress comes from being overwhelmed. Because you already know that you're on top of everything. You already know that you can do each little minute thing that you're doing. So it's just all of them coming at the same time. So just pause, take 3 deep breaths, and let that go and continue doing what you've been doing because you're great at it. And here we have the Dark Lord. And the Dark Lord represents ego, temptations, excess. And I think what this is saying about the Divine Feminine with this new energies is to not let our egos get in the way of this new beginning that we're trying to manifest with our twin. During this time, we will be releasing a lot of things that don't serve us. And there are some things that are really attached to ego, especially if you still don't know who your twin flame is. If you haven't met him yet, your vision of him will be attached to several matters relating to ego, like what he'll look like, what how much he will earn. So this is a warning to go past that. Okay? Not to be tempted by worldly matters, not to stray, of course, because you're bound to all these worldly matters. There's something bigger at work here. And to beware of temptation. Because a lot of twin divine feminines at this point, they feel exhausted, they feel tired, just like what this card is telling us. Perhaps it's taken too long for your twin to return and come back. But we all know that the timing the timing of union is up to us. Well, ultimately it's subject to divine timing. But it's also up to us to an extent. Because if you do the work, then union will be faster. But at this point in time, there are a lot of feminines who are overwhelmed and exhausted because this has taken way too long and I'm not seeing results. So they're tempted to go seek gratification someplace else, whether it's in a lustful fashion or, you know, just someone else other than your twin flame. And again, this card is also warning us that that's also going to delay your journey. You're already close to goal, close to home. So when these temptations come up, you will always have a choice because that's part and parcel of the deal we had when we incarnated here. We get to have free will. But the spirit is reminding us to make those choices wisely. Because while union is assured with your twin flame, you can delay that or you can take a detour. And this is another detour. Whatever you've worked hard for, it sets you back, and this will have to resolve itself again. So while it would be amusing to dilly-dally, flirt with someone else, and go the distance with someone else, stay true to what your soul is telling you. Because you already know who you're supposed to be with. So challenge. The challenge of the divine feminine this week is to see love in all things. And what I'm really getting that right now is that you also have to see love in the silence of your twin. He's giving you a chance to discover yourself during this time of separation. So look at things from a different perspective. Look at it from the lens of love. If before you've been thinking that he's staying away, he's running away because he's scared, you have to flip that coin or flip that stick. It's a manifestation technique by Abraham and Esther Hicks. You know, when you flip the pole, you're thinking, let's say, you're thinking this thought that my twin hasn't gotten in touch with me because he's afraid. He didn't understand or he's just mean, you know. But if you flip it to the other side and you think positively about that, just think of the possibilities. What if you're the one who needed the time to discover what exactly this divine feminine business is all about? What if you needed time to learn all your abilities, to get deeper healing from other people about from wounds that you didn't even know existed? We cannot, as twin flames, we cannot hurt or harm each other. All our actions are born out of love. It cannot not be so because that is our nature. But the thing is, because we are now in this human body with human eyes, and it's only recently that the divine feminine has awakened, we have to see, we train our eyes to see things differently now. And being the ambassadors of unconditional love on the planet, this is our challenge, to see things that ordinarily would make no sense, would be totally illogical. But then, if you understand that they're coming from love, that changes the whole scene, the whole picture. So, what is the advice for us divine feminines here? Melchizedek advises us to embody the spiritual law of attraction. So, if you keep committing to your twin flame union, you keep on loving the divine masculine, that's just going to attract each one of you to each other. It has to start from within. As within, so without. It has to start from within. So you better clear and do the work within, because that's what's going to bring your twin flame into 3D. That's how it's going to manifest. It necessarily has to be there spiritually first before it can manifest. Now, although it has already been preordained that we're going to be together, and even if you have relationships, a relationship with your twin in 5D that you can access right now, you have to keep nurturing that until you can manifest the relationship in 3D. If you'd like to manifest a relationship with your twin. But again, it's almost a non-choice, because you're like magnets. You will attract each other anyway, but you have to be carrying the same frequency, and that frequency is the highest spark of love, embodying the Christ consciousness, which is the spark that twin flames carry. So, during this new moon, which advises us to go within, do that. If you have a ritual for setting intentions, then do that. Do that in the next couple of days or tomorrow, so that it will help you clear. Of course, it helps if you declutter your place and all that. But again, physical decluttering, will not get you very far if you don't do spiritual house cleaning. So do that. Look at it through the eyes of love, and we're one step closer into union again. So that's what I have for you, Divine Feminines. Thank you for listening to this reading. I hope you've taken something out of it. If it resonates with you, then please like and subscribe to my channel. I also have a Facebook page, and come visit my website when you can, and let's see if I can help you if you're called to ask for help. Thank you. Enjoy your Halloween, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.